Welcome. Welcome and welcome back. If you're returning from the previous live earlier today, give you all a few to get the notification. Full moon in Leo. And for those of you that are new or returning, I am Goddess, High Priestess, Empress, Alba la Pantera, not a queen. Goddess, High Priestess, Empress, Alba la Pantera. Okay, let's get it together. Cause for real, we'll go into all of that another time, but let's give you all a few to get the notification once again. We're about to tune into this energy of the full moon in Leo. Right now it's at 28 degrees. It was exact at 24 degrees. Let me make these adjustments. Something about that. Let's put it there. Ooh. Welcome back, Bandera Soul fam. Yes, EVE. Let me see. When my hair is down, I got my mama's face when it's up and like, not like, but when it's back up, you know what I mean? It gives my father's energy, but got that jawline on my pops though. Welcome, Pantera Soul Ruins. Yes, welcome. It is lovely to see you both here. Oh, shoot, the Pantera Soul fam. We ride four. We on that four, you hear me? Yes. Let me go back over here so I can see the full chat. I already made the adjustments. Yeah, I did. All right. Let's get started. Let's get rolling on these messages here for the collective full moon in Leo. All right. So let's see where the energy's at, where the vibes at. Let me mute this side. All right. Let me see what the energy is for the collective for the full moon in Leo. It was just 4:11 as we're starting the message at 4:11. Oh, shooky now. Let's see what the information is. Oh, baby. Ebens, number 8. Mystery, reading between the lines, intuition. It's the first card out. With the crescent moon in the back. Specifically a waxing crescent, which is after the new moon. So we're in the full moon in Leo. This showing up here as the first message, full moon in Leo. Okay, the full moons are about completions as a result of forgiveness. In the sign of Leo, it'll speak to your creativity, your willpower, your strengths. This could even speak to the type of people you date if you are someone who is dating. Now, with this waxing crescent phase showing up as the first card, number 8, one is a transformation that's leading you into abundance, an ending that's leading you into abundance, in connection to your heart as well. Solar plexus energy coming through. You're reading between the lines because it says mystery, reading between the lines, intuition. So something in regards to what happened right after the new moon in Leo, the waxing crescent phase, could be of significance. Water, either you are Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, but the moon is connected to the sign of Cancer. We do have the element of water that has to do with reflection, kindness, and compassion. So let's see where else this is going. 9, 10, 11, 12. Something that was hidden within the depths that required you to read between the lines, trust your intuition to understand the story, because the story is a mystery, but mist, water, you would have to go within, connect to your emotions in order to first read between the lines to even know what to read to. Tall whites. Why does her egg whites? None of it's random. We have uncertainty, distrust, and guarded. 8:20. Interesting, because that is Leo season. August 20th is Leo season. Let me because I love to be precise. That's the moon in Virgo in me when it comes to when information and such comes through here. So let me go 2024. I want to see the energies at that time. The new moon was the 4th, 5th, the waxing crescent phase that we're speaking to as the first card, something you've been reading between the lines between August 5th and the 11th. And then the 20th was after a full moon in Aquarius. There goes that 8. Let me get a tarot card. What do we... Ooh, there goes 12, though, with that 8 and 4 from the 40, from the water element. Tall mantis beings. Enigma, elusive, sensitive. Someone is seeing the message or the power that comes from sensitivity, senses. Because even with this full moon in Leo, it is squaring a planet that's in the sign that has to do with your 5 senses, the body, Uranus and Taurus. In a square to the full moon. So this is creating some sort of challenge in the process of you completing a cycle as it relates to what you deem as valuable when it comes to your own sacred values and your truths. Doing it with love in order to do it in the most simple or simplistic way without having to force it. Because it seems as though you may have wanted to close out certain cycles with love, but there were situations around based on the way you saw your worth and what was being told to you externally that would have you at a crossroads in terms of the decisions you had to make. So since August, you've been reading in between the lines. You may have closed out significant cycles with groups of people. Or let's say if it's a group or social setting or a social network, this could be a certain type of religion, whatever anyone deems as religion, or just that whole word in general, having a different point of view, but actually taking the steps that reflects the different point of view you now have in regards to that. And in doing so, you have been viewed by others as an enigma, or as if I'm getting also standoffish or people feeling as though they couldn't speak to you. Well, that was a form of protection. They couldn't speak to you because they had no business speaking to you in the first place, or you had no business speaking to them. However, there wasn't any type of dialogue or connection that should have been happening anyway. So now I'm seeing a tower moment occurs where shit hit the fan per se. Making decisions without explaining yourself, because the 20th, the moon was in Pisces. That moon in Pisces can have you feeling the energies of so much around you. Not just your own, but energies around you too. So making decisions based off of that, not realizing that a decision you made, was a butterfly effect to something else, closing out or starting. Let's see. That was a lot. Not really, but 2012 could be significant too. Yep. We're being nosy today. When aren't we? In these type of readings. Anyway. I'm going right to 2012. August 20th. December 20th could be significant too, because it just showed me December. But August 20th, 2012, the moon was in the waxing gibbous phase in Aquarius. The next day would have made it the full moon in Pisces, the 21st of August. Just about, depending on where the sun was, degrees wise. Because obviously August 21st would come across as Leo season. So it depends on where the sun, degrees wise, was at that moment, or the degrees of that full moon. It's given 0 for real. Well, Aquarius 28, but it puts it into Pisces. Okay, that makes sense. Much more sense. Anyway, so let's see. Greetings. Why is 820 significant to right now? Between 2012 and last year, in 2024. Why is 820 so significant? The Nine of Cups. Now, this is a card of wish fulfillment. Jupiter in Pisces. I heard dream state, or a dream that was fulfilled. This could have been someone practicing sobriety as well, with those cups at the top. So there's something you stopped doing that connected you even more so to what it is that you truly wanted to experience in life, and it possibly put you in a position where you were by yourself. You may have felt that that's what was the best route to take from the beginning anyway, but you may have wanted to include others in this wish fulfillment, but others could not go with you. There's there's a level of purification that one has to go through to experience that reality that you saw as a wish fulfillment. What's at the bottom here? Oh gosh. We have the major arcana number 21, the completion of a cycle. Something you ended that placed you in a position to be by yourself that is significant to right now, the full moon in Leo. Now, do I still have this up here? Yeah. The Sabian symbol for Leo at 24 degrees, you go 1 up to read the Sabian symbol. A large camel crossing a vast and forbidding desert. Taking the road, let's travel, huh? This symbol implies the need to push ahead in difficult times, going alone. going alone and coping even in the most difficult circumstances. So that moment or that energy in itself, the need to push ahead in difficult times, going alone and coping, that may have triggered another level where you recognize this is where the shadow work has to be done. Okay? So that you can heal and you no longer cope. It also shows being self-sufficient or someone with a big journey to complete. You may find that your situation has been an arduous journey, but there could still be further to go. Be confident, Leo energy, that you have the reserves to survive and the endurance to succeed. Although you may enjoy the company and assistance of others, in the end, you can really rely on only on yourself. Self-sufficiency and mental self-control are necessary, as is a commitment to get to the other side of your issue, get to the depths of the shadow work, to heal, to no longer cope. Because the coping is going to have you tiptoeing around shadow work, and you're doing shadow work for years or for your entire life that you're here. The healing of the actual work of doing the shadow work should put you in a position of healing. Completing the journey while protecting oneself from spiritual sunstroke. The test of karma, having to carry the load often for others over long distances, stamina reserves, not preparing properly, running out of reserves, feeling weighed down, and in danger of not finishing the objective. Finish the plan. Especially if it's something that is near and dear to your heart and you know that this is your purpose, follow your purpose as much as you want to breathe. Trust your guidance from your spirit guides and your ancestors as much as you want to breathe. Because there's so much information out there that can literally steer someone into thinking they have to do this way or that way because someone said this. Your ancestors are not their ancestors. Because there's some certain cases where there's certain practices that you embody just within your DNA code that you're being asked to now take it to the next level. Of course, not everyone is built that way. Just know know your ancestors. And a great way of knowing who your ancestors are is through your challenges. It's through the lessons that you encounter. What solutions do you come up with when you feel that your back is against the wall? When you really take the moment to become aware of your actions and your thoughts, when certain situations are not, let's say for instance, not happening the way you may have planned it out to be, use that moment to ask your higher self to connect with the version of you that already has the clear understanding, understanding, overstanding, and the solutions as to what to do next. I promise you, your ancestors and your spirit guides will come through in connection to your higher self, where you may recognize, oh, you can actually do this yourself because you are disciplined. Especially when it comes to certain spiritual practices. Okay? So, let's see. Because there's a mystery here that some of you may be uncertain or guarded about because of what you may hear as to this is the way you're supposed to go by it. Is that what your ancestor told you? Is that what your spirit guides told you? Is that what the synchronicities that you have been getting been telling you? Five of Swords. Yeah, there's been some complications in communications. What's this? With people of the past. 9 and that 6, that's a 15. But it's part of the path because some of you may have been seeing 6, 6. Double six. Just reminding you to keep going. This is the path that you are supposed to be taking. Three of Cups. Celebration here. Notice this Nine of Cups is a card of wish fulfillment. You have this celebration card, but you got the Five of Swords coming up here with multiple people, 3 people specifically. They're not sitting with they're not sitting in this pit. There's no one else in this wish fulfillment card, but there are many people in this miscommunication card. It's given the worst case scenario of the game of telephone. The he say, she say bullshit. Read between the lines. Because just at the new moon in Leo, this is the completion of it. Full moon in Leo. August 20, 2024. The next day you had... No, not the next day, but the full moon was the new moon was earlier. New moon in Leo was earlier, but before the full moon in Aquarius, around that time was August 20th, but the full moon in Aquarius would speak to a completion of a cycle of people you've forgiven who have literally possibly, you can't make this shit up, who have literally, you know, have said certain things behind your back, thinking that the message wasn't gonna... 'Tis the season that if someone is not about that life per se, or really have that integrity about who they truly are, mentally, physically, spiritually, soulfully, that's that ass. Because Leo 25 Sabian symbol also speaks of the test of karma. Something's gonna have to get balanced out. I'm sitting over here shuffling the cards, and you got this Three of Pentacles coming back, Three of Cups showing up here. Some of you can have a Mars in Capricorn. What you're ambitious about, the people of the past can't stand that. What you're ambitious, your ambition really took people in a space where they just didn't understand you. But that's the whole point. That they sitting there too focused on you when they need to be understanding their damn self. The part of them that's literally damn stuck. With the Hierophant coming out sideways right after this. These are situations where some of you were committed to these people. You may have even been in positions where you got a lot on your plate, but whenever somebody asks you for something, you're the first one there. So much so that you're putting what you got to get going and doing on the side to help others. And now that you began to, I'm telling you, you saw the Tower earlier. And now that you started to recognize, read between the lines, and not so much read the lines and between the lines at this point, and really see the way people truly move, because you began to see the way people truly move the moment you told someone no that you always told yes to. The moment you told someone no that you always told yes to, this is when shit started to go sideways and things have to be shifted. People have to be moved out of the situation abruptly, if that even had to be the case. But the way this is showing up here, yeah. There was an abrupt sudden change, an upheaval in a certain dynamic where there was a high level of commitment. Because it seems with this full moon in Leo, as it's helping you to open yourself up to all that you are. decision has to be made. That card that came out is face down. When it comes to you stepping into all that you are, there could be things of the past that have been coming to the surface, challenging you, especially with Uranus and Taurus, and it's direct now. So it's going to basically bring forth the energy of, if something it doesn't belong in your environment or in your aura, it's gonna bring you back to something that you may have done the shadow work for, or something that you could possibly still coping, just to let you know it's time to get rid of this. If you truly want the life you desire, because right now the life that some desire is the life that they're living, wanting to have others enjoy the fruits of their labor and their wish fulfillment when they don't belong there. So now that desire is going to be something extremely toxic rather than bliss. But let's see what this card is over here. Wow. Going to have to turn this down for a bit because, speaking of whatever religion is to a person, or a certain tradition, or with this Five of Swords, because it's Aquarius, it's an innovator, someone who's an inventor or has a way of doing something that other people may see as, oh, you gotta do it this way first. Nah, you trusting your intuition is what puts certain relationships and dynamic in this lukewarm type of energy. And you made a decision based off of your intuition. Mystery, read between the lines. That's the first card out. So it's definitely having something to do with August of last year. Between, what is that, the 6th and the 11th? I'm gonna get a different deck because I'm not gonna say it's a lot that's being talked about, but certainly an energy of a lot of plenty of clarity. Show me this energy, High Priestess. Clarify the High Priestess here and this energy. A praying mantis could literally be significant in your environment around a significant moment. With an air element, then you have alchemy, the philosopher's stone. You could have Libra in your chart, specifically 29 degrees. That's literally the energy of, in the Sabian symbols, that's what that's connected to. And this is coming up right under the praying mantis. No, whoever this is, you're stepping into the fullness of all that you are and realizing that it's okay to be misunderstood. It's more than okay. You're not here to be understood by anyone but yourself. We have child. Either you had a child at 18 or something about your inner child and 18 years old. Something that occurred when you were a child. I'm getting 8 years old. That really had an effect on your life at 18. Now, for some of you, this could be 18 years ago, but let's continue. Expectations. Not meeting others' expectations. Oh, so for some of you, this could be with people who were older than you, and you didn't do certain things that they expected you to do. They may be successful, but you move in a way that it's not similar to the way they move. And just because of that, they feel as though you're not going to be successful. Well, bullshit. That was their journey. This is yours. Right as we're saying, this is yours. Great fortune, 26. And you got 26 here, the Philosopher's Stone. You're someone who can read between the lines. You have the information that's going, it's literally going to take you down the path where put it this way. You have those who have the awareness of demons as a physical representation, which it can be, but that's something one creates. And you have those who have the understanding of demons as a lower vibrational state in terms of the response to the energy in motion. It becomes a thing, a physical thing, based on the one creating it, you. Each and every one of you in the collective is a creator of what a demon is, when it's really just D-E-M-O-N, connected to Monday, the moon. It's a descended energy of emotions. The balance of those demons and your angles or angels, 72 and 72, is going to put you at 144. Mind you, if I'm not mistaken, no, Sabian symbol 144 is the one right before this. But let's say we're speaking about Sabian symbols. There's 360 of them. We're literally at that threshold of 144. So there's definitely something here in terms of when you know what you know and you observe your reality, who still wants to operate in this mental imprisonment, you got to let them be where they're going to be. Let people feel the way they're going to feel about you. Just don't take on the narrative as to what they feel about you, because that's the way they feel about themselves. They're just struggling with what to do when there's really no necessity to struggle, when you are presenting them with the tools, even if it just means you being you. You speaking the way you do. Tell me more. And then you have courtship. Now, for some, this could have to do with the relationship, especially with courtship showing up here. Living a false fairy tale, especially with the Hierophant showing up sideways. Not living a life of integrity is going to constantly connect you to false representations of your desires, of what it is that you're truly passionate about, what truly brings you happiness. And then you have message of concern at the bottom of the deck. Now we have three women and one child, but this could be child, mother, grandmother, great grandmother. Let me see. Poverty. It's the false realities of what son and all and what who Jesus is. It's the false reality and the lack of knowledge. It's what's it's what's coming to the forefront, and why there are connections that are being severed, ended abruptly, because enough been enough. Literally put when someone could leave a message or enter in the chat at 38 minutes. And if you go back to the beginning, as I was doing, I said something about it. Here it goes. And it's in the card right before it is right here. Putting all that work and not really experiencing any type of joy from all of this work one has been doing. The shit's real simple. Now, in saying that, certain people are going to have an issue with it in terms of, but you, in order to do this, this has to happen. Where that goes, this where that worry energy comes into play, and victory doesn't come with worry. You can't be victorious and sitting here worrying about shit. You can't be talking about you want to live the life that you dream of, and you sitting here worried about shit. The more you worry, the more you're going to bring in that same cycle of worry or what's next. That fear, that whole concept and the way it channels through the body, this full moon in a square to Uranus and Taurus, which has to do with a sudden enlightenment that goes through your body about certain things that you've been told was true when the shit is fucking false. Y'all not tired of that? Not y'all specifically, but you see so much in front of you, can't even tell what is true, but that should be easy too, in terms of if you know yourself and you're connected to your soul, you're going to know what's true. You're going to know what to say yes to. Obviously, you're going to have to deprogram yourself from all this other shit you thought was true. Your savior is always going to be you. It always was you. Each and everybody within the collective, their savior is themselves. Selves, it's you. Some of these relationships that people are in are literally to get you to the point where enough is the fuck enough, so you can, you know what I'm saying, get that shit through your skull on some, nah, this ain't it. This can't be, because it ain't. It can't be, because it actually ain't it. A life of unconditional love is what it truly is. But so many people are quote unquote in love based off of fucking conditions. That's no. That ain't it. Message. 7, look at this shit here. 377. And then you have 733. 377, 733. You could expand spiritually or descend and get controlled. And this ain't the time to be getting controlled either. Descend and be controlled. You have your thinking control because you want to ignore what the truth is. Mentioned this in the other live before this one. Pay attention to your breathing. If you take on too much, the type of person that takes on too much, when you inhale, you may find it, you know, you may struggle a bit with it in terms of inhaling to a point where you can hold your breath to release it slowly, but it seems as though on the inhale is much faster than it is to release. Let's put it this way. If you're someone who tends to hold on to things, you're someone who just loves to receive, but you may also hold on to it. So if you were to do a breathing exercise, your exhale may be a little shallow in terms of when you're asked to exhale slowly, you find yourself having to overly control how slowly you exhale. You may be taking on too much or holding on to too much. But equally so, the inhale and the exhale, it should be something that is beautiful and effortless. But if you have things that are around you that you're taking on too much and not letting go as much as you're taking on, basically not allowing yourself to reset daily, you're going to notice that within your breathing pattern. Message, main female, 72, July 2nd. Let me see here. What about this? Mature man. Let's see. Sudden wealth. 3 sevens. You have 2 here. Now the feminine, and speaking of the feminine energy representing intuition, there's 3 sevens on this sudden wealth. Now those are 2 words that are in the astros too, in terms of Uranus in connection to sudden changes and wealth. Uranus is in Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus, but that also speaks to that as well. Wealth, sudden wealth, 777. You have 2 here on the table. The first card that came out had to do with reading between the lines and trusting your intuition. I'm hearing cast your net to the right. You have 2 sevens here. For some of you, this is a deep message when it comes to your impoverished mindset. What's keeping you there? Let's say you are experiencing wealth, but there's still this, you know what I'm saying, this slight connection to what if. Get up on out of there. You don't got to be there. And you have marriage here. Speaking to that mental imprisonment or that impoverished mindset, 4343. Can't be married to this. To closing yourself in situations that no longer serve you. Now, this 7 of Cups speaks of, the 9 of Swords at the bottom of that, speaks of options that you have. Not every option is the best. But there's one option that can get you the others, but this could also be the overcoming of the 7 deadly sins to connect to your 7 powers. Or the unlocking of your chakras. Now this Hierophant is sitting in the middle of this. Let's see if I could go before I almost. The Hierophant is sitting in the middle of these two. Okay? Now, the way this is coming across, it has to do with this uncertainty card. With the number 20, which in the major arcana, that's the Judgment card. With this Hierophant in the middle as the bridge, interesting, because that's connected to Taurus, which is the throat chakra. So this is bringing it back around to the beginning, where you're seeing the necessity of a decision you've already made or you should be making, especially if there's a lack of trust. If you're around something, someone, and trust is not beyond 100%, it'll have some type of blockage to your root chakra, which has to do with your stability. Post just came up across the screen and said Cain and Abel, but the way it came through as I saw it was there's something you can do and there's something that you're able to do. What you can do is anything. What you're able to do in terms of your purpose, you may not necessarily be able to do what you can do. So let's say that means carrying people from the past into your future. You won't be able to. The doors of your abundance won't open up to you because you're not able to do that, because it's not a vibrational match. To where you're going next. We have the King of Swords, Aquarius energy, but this is having the strategy with the King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Emotional intelligence and mental strategy. Shit. Choose the option in connection to the strategy and your emotional intelligence. By the way, there goes the other 7, speaking of that sudden wealth. You're going to have to make a choice. The choice should be the mental strategy in alignment to your emotional intelligence. When you're emotionally intelligent, you're not going to bring things of the past that don't align with that. You won't be able to. And you notice after test the karma that you're unable to, because that door that you know is supposed to open, you know it's supposed to open because the strategy lines up. It should open, but it don't. Now it's time to reflect on what's going on around you. You in this state of faith and knowing, but you around people who are still in this space of hoping, worrying, carrying what happened last time into this time when this time ain't the same shit that happened last time. But it can be if you bring what happened last time into this time. If it's the last time, then let that shit be the last time for real. Obviously, it wasn't the last time if, one is choosing to bring that shit over into the next time. And keep it in the buck for real. Even when it comes to... I'm very observant when it comes to people and the way they express themselves. If I hear someone say that this is the last time they're going to do some shit, and that shit comes up again, because there's certain things in the way my spirit is set up, that shit comes up, that person is never going to see me again. We're not going to have any other conversations again. I don't have to explain why. I'm not doing that. You should know why. And if you don't, that's big Sag energy too, but If you don't know why, you'll figure it out at some point, because the person will have an aha moment or an epiphany on some, yo, that's what, yeah. When you see how simple it is to manifest what you want into your life, and how simple it is to not, you got to make a choice as to the life you want to live. You want to make this shit more complicated, or you want ease? Or do you want your freedom? Do you want freedom in your in peace and ease in life? Oh, the Four of Swords. Speaking of ease, that's the rest card, but it's definitely time to put an end to it, because that ending will certainly bring you to a point of completion and happiness, joy. Speaking of the child, there goes another child here. Something about children inspires someone also. Now, for some of you, part of you sticking to your integrity. You say that you don't want to take part in funerals, or you don't do funerals anymore. Better mean what you say. If you don't want to attend funerals because that's not something you want to indulge in, because you rather do something else, or see or have a memory of a person or an energy in a different way, you don't have to be there. For some of you, that's part of your no. Your views have changed. That's what's coming through here very strongly. Somebody has this perception of it in terms of, nah, I don't want to see nobody in no box. That's a whole nother different type of prison for real. And you want to show more respect and honor to that person that's transitioning by, just having the memories that you have. For some of you, that's also part of your shadow work too. Let's say you experience a significant transition of someone in your surroundings at the age of 8. It changed your entire view when it came to humanity, and you probably didn't speak much. Yeah, elusive. You probably didn't speak much, and you were possibly labeled as something that society loves to label children when they don't speak, or placed in special education when your mindset was just different, especially at the age of 8, because that's the first year that you are in your physical body after the cycle of the first 7 years. Because the first 7 years, it's that level of the cosmic ethereal spiritual energy is very pure from 0 to 7, and it really depends on the way that child is raised too. That water sounds so loud right now. Three of Wands in reverse. Why is this in reverse? The Judgment. It shows up. Speaking of, funerals and boxes. Somebody could have possibly had an argument with somebody in terms of letting them be. They could have been an ancestor or spirit guide that literally showed up in your essence and was telling people up on some of, I didn't want that shit. Fuck y'all put me in the ground for. Respectfully. Something here happened recently where that really sealed the deal for you and other people. It was what was necessary, or what is necessary for each one to go in their specific journeys. Why is this in reverse? Wow. This came out with it. Potential for a new life, a new reality, was on hold until you receive your enlightenment. Some of you, this is coming through as spiritual inheritance. 33 years old. A grandfather could be significant, because now I'm seeing that concern card, which is number 33. What is going on here? Something certainly starts over during Pisces season and going into Aries season. We have the Nine of Swords here. Some of you have been having messages that have been coming through as nightmares. Because this message may have come through in other ways. But the it seems as though one didn't take heed of the message. So now it has to come through this different avenue in the form of a nightmare for there to be this, okay, what is this really saying now? Which led you into reading in between the lines and this uncovering the mystery. Now, this uncovering of the mystery could have something to do with, once you do the shadow work and you open the lid of past traumas, you begin to remember certain things that'll help you to put the puzzle pieces together, where the trauma becomes more of a tool and a resource than a hindrance. There you go. It'll help you to complete the cycle. Ooh. Connect you to your true alchemy. Especially you recognizing that you could be an empath. How strong of an empath you are. Is this showing through? Ooh. And now you're stepping into your power. What's in between this? Look at that. Look at that shit there. Literally. What used to be trauma has been, it's basically written in your book of life. It was written in your book of life for you to go down the rabbit hole. There's little bunny rabbits over here somewhere. Yeah. There's a little rabbit over there. It allowed you to go down your own rabbit hole to exit the circus. And you notice that this person is holding 5 swords. So this would be what? Let me see. That's 12, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 7, and 5. Discovering the mysteries, especially of this air element, which has to do, and it's right here, 225, which is a 7. Shit. Philosophy, discrimination, and empathy. Being very discriminating when it comes to what you feel and no longer holding yourself back because of what possible relation you have to this person or how connected you and another person may be. Because it doesn't have any more growth to it. You're the one that's been making it grow. And you've learned your lesson. You put down the confusion, 2 of Swords, especially when it came to emotions connected to memories of significant one-on-one partnerships, 2 of Swords, Moon and Libra. And now you're really clearly seeing, okay, why certain pieces of the puzzle were the pieces of the puzzle. Now we're going into the essence of you realizing the simulation you've been in when it comes to certain parts of the journey in your life. Notice how that sudden wealth card had 3 sevens, and there's always been 2. You've always been at the point to receive and start this new beginning, but it's been on hold because it was your choice to put it on hold. It was your choice to put it on hold. Why? Because you wanted to see if this could be, you know what I'm saying, fixed up, changed. Each time it brought you to realizing, then, yo, really living the life you want to live may require you to be by yourself for some time. But that's all to connect you to your actual soul tribe, for real. Because notice when these was coming out, how that 3 of Cups kept on showing up, which is a card of reconciliation too. Constantly reconciling with the past. That basically being in a position where you're the strongest one of the crew. Everybody can come and talk to you about whatever, but you have no one to actually talk to. Not that there's a problem with that. It's just recognizing, hold up. It doesn't have to be that way, though. It doesn't have to be that way. And for some of you, what makes that clear is that you may have someone who's on the other side that consoles you in your dream state. Because of how powerful you are, how often you help others, assist others. But can't nobody bring that same energy for you. And obviously the same for those of you who, you know, you feel as though you have that. Especially this portion of it. Don't make it fit if, you know, if that's not you. Look at that shit. I'm telling you. Finally being able to let go of what you thought what used to be. There go them 3 fucking cups right there. Constantly want to go back to that, but they ain't. That's sand wine, for real. Sand wine. That's why I said there's nothing wrong with that. But it sure would be beautiful, you know what I'm saying? And that's what you're being gifted with at this time. That's part of your sudden wealth, where you get the reciprocity of that Empress energy around you. That's the difference between this Empress along with the goddess frequency. The difference between the Empress goddess versus the Queen. The Queen needs other people to do shit for her. The Empress and the goddess may disguise herself as a fucking page just to assist others, just to make sure they get, you know, what they got to get done. That's why I said goddess, high priestess, Empress, a la pantera, not queen. Because the even, you know, the more you even research a lot of these words, It comes from the word Quean, which means prostitute for real. So when you are leveling up, this is divine feminine energy, not so much woman or man. No. The moment you know your value, see that Venus symbol right there. Now you'll be ready to, you know what I'm saying? These cups that have been spilt over ages ago, literally ages ago for some of you, because that's part of your lesson in this lifetime. In order for you to go to your Two of Cups, and Two of Cups is listed as that energy of newfound love, the beginning stages of unconditional love, right after the Ace of Cups. That Ace of Cups is unconditional love. That Two of Cups is basically the physical reality of that unconditional love you have for yourself being shared with someone else. It's not going to have a whole Caduceus symbol with the lion head and wings and shit on it for no reason now. But you're gonna have to walk away from these Three Cups and people you thought you can celebrate with, or people who were genuinely celebrating you, whatever the case may be, when it was false. You're gonna have to let that go. And be prepared, willing to go to these Two Cups here. It's showing up right after that. Yeah. You've been working on it time and time again, but you wasting time. You wasted time. That's another thing. Time is supposed to be working for you, not you for it. Okay? Time works for you. Now, see, that's something else that people look at in a different way, won't be able to grasp it as much. Because of why? They'll go right directly to this energy right here. When the truth is, this shit is a fucking illusion too. That's how powerful humans are. But not knowing that, honestly, it really does suck for real. Not seeing people get to 120. Minimum 360. If we're going to have 360 degrees in astrology, why that perception is not there, though. There's more of a fear and worry in a lot of systems that are being demolished now much faster when it comes to having people all do the same shit, competing against each other. Notice that when you live in your authentic frequency, you aging backwards, and people who are in a rush for time will feel as though that they don't have to. If there's something you do and you feel as though you don't have time to do it, ask yourself, really reflect and sit down with yourself and ask yourself, is this something you still want to do? Are you racing against time? If you ain't running track, shit, if you really gonna talk about racing against time and shit, learn that real quick. No shade, but that's real shit right there. Let's get one more. Ooh, you make me, yeah. Temperance. Sagittarius with Sagittarius card. The macro to the micro. All this time, your higher self has been on you, and it's here now in full presence. That's the sun in the back right here. The Death card is walking towards the moon. This Temperance card is walking towards the sun. But you are the one that has to realize what you can do with these 10 wands. You can let this shit bury you, or you can build with this. You can let your past bury you, or you can build with it. It's time for you to get the building. You got the Queen of Pentacles now. And back to that expression of the Queen and the Empress Goddess energy. There are 4 queens for a reason. The only thing that you're missing to step into that Empress energy, and you got to do this quickly now. Trust the guidance of your intuition before making sense to it, because there's a lot of information, it seems, that's coming towards you about what to do next in the material realm. This Queen of Pentacles is just showing you have to trust the wisdom of your body. What is your body telling you? In connection to the strategy. With the sword up, this is speaking to, if it ain't the truth, head's gonna go rolling. Let them. There's nothing for you to do other than stay on the path of what you know is for you. Not the way others expect you to be. Because they did this way, they did that. Once again, going back to the beginning, is that what your higher self told you? Is that what your spirit guides and your ancestors told you? If it ain't, why are you listening to that? That's why I tell y'all, take what resonates and leave the rest. Don't make shit fit. And even if it does resonate for however what time it do for you, then based on time working for you, do you do what you do? We got a love card. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. This is coming through as something new for for now, for some of you. Trust and faith is required to see the realness and what is worth exploring when it comes to your feelings, especially in matters of love, sharing your love with another. It's big time, baby. So this entire message, could be step by steps as to the love life that you've been encountering. Something was deeply rooted in your subconscious, bottom of the deck, deception, that once you took the mask off, this could be you even, once you took the mask off, that would be an example of you studying the axis between your rising, your ascendant, and your descendant. 1st and 7th house. Your 7th house, whatever's in there, is going to tell you about the energies that, what would take you to that level of higher levels of commitment, and what will put you in the shadow aspects of it based on what that 7th house is saying. Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Well, congratulations, honey. I love to see it. You can use the past to build on, or it's going to build on you. The way this is coming through, obviously, pray that this message really shifts something in you. You know what I mean? What's this? Chemistry. Some of you haven't met this person just yet because it came out in reverse. Or you may feel as though it's the first message that's coming out here. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. You may not think you and this person have chemistry. But it's a test of your trust and faith with the angels. A lot of angels showing up here. What's behind this? It's safe for you to love. Child. Open your heart. Especially for that chemistry to link up. If you know the person, or if you have an idea, say something. You know what I'm saying? No is no, yes is yes. At least you know. And if they say no, don't push it. It's the most annoying thing anybody can do to anybody. Then you got forgiveness showing up here. Wow. Especially during the full moon, which speaks of completions of a cycle due to forgiveness and gratitude. And forgiveness is for you, so you can take your power back. Ooh, especially if it has to do with people who placed you in a position of persecution and inquisition, communal living. And this could be something that's been going on in past generations too, that you, my love, are the one that is clearing it. You've been carrying that, but at the bottom of the deck when this came out was the Temperance card. And a lot of these angels are showing up here, and the Temperance card is one of temperament. It's the one that comes up right before the temptation, the Devil card. So it's giving more so respond before you react type of energy, you know? Well, one more. Male and female. If there's a conversation you don't want to have with somebody, make sure you just close out that cycle within yourself. You don't have to have this conversation with someone, because some of you could feel someone who turned their back on you still holding on to your energy. But a part of that could be, if you're still having those, still thinking that they're holding on, they will be, because that's a part of the exchange if you're thinking about it. Get into a position where, if this is something you no longer want in your life, place yourself in the scenario of you've already moved on with the love of your life, with the family that you have. Obviously, in a righteous, unconditionally loving relationship, you're not going to be sitting here thinking about people of the past. If you find that you can place yourself in that position and you'll still have thoughts about someone of the past, don't even place yourself in that scenario, because now you're just on this fucking hamster wheel of cycles that don't nobody got time for that. Not even you. So clear the slate, clean it all up. Clean it all up. You know, don't normally say if there's somebody from your past, but some of you may have to spin the block just to see you really want to keep moving forward with what it is that you were going to do before you decided to spin the block. But as long as you have these coulda, woulda, shouldas, now you're blocking your path from other things. You know? Let me see. Some of you, that's your answer right there. You don't have to spin the block. Not physically. You may have spun the block of several times already. Even if this means in your mind, notice what takes you out of there. Why keep going back to something that is just not, it's not really your fulfillment. First card is the Nine of Cups. You may constantly be in this position where wondering, what if? Man, if you got the wonder what if at this fucking day and age, especially when something is two-sided, when it has to do with another person, I'm gonna need we gonna ask you, okay? You want your sunshine, because this is 19 sun card energy. We gonna take all your power and just keep moving forward. Just leave that shit back there, okay? It's back there for a reason. We got spouse and heart-to-heart conversation. You can't make this shit up. Pay attention to the red flag at the bottom of the deck. You may want to have a heart-to-heart conversation, but it's not fulfilling you. Food and hunger. Literally. Stay optimistic about your love life moving forward. Because backwards is unrequited love. It's nothing but wars and battles. Some of y'all may want to take a trip to Asia. It may have something to do with healing your family issues. Separation from old vows. that may have had to do with Asia, Egypt, traveling there, literally transportation. Oh shit, past life relationship is going to require you to dance with life and set boundaries. Don't dim to fit in. So that is your full moon in Leo. Blessings and love, abundance, clarity to all. Most of all, forgiveness for yourself. Know that you are in this school of earth to connect to your heart. It's the same word, but that word is a game in itself too, heart and earth. You got to decide what lessons you choose, because it's wild how the Saturn symbol is literally H2. So there's that. It's all there for you, my loves. It's all there for you. You just have to see it, trust what you see, and move with love. I love you. See you on